swear that the universe does not want me to have a vlog, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Long story. But I wanted to have a vlog for a long time, so I'm gonna try and stick with it this time. So I'm not sticking with Vlogmas because it's really stressful and hard to get comfortable in front of your camera sometimes, and I'm one of those people who doesn't want to offend anyone and feels the need to be like overly careful with what I say, which means recording something 100 times, but I don't want to do that. Like, there's just thoughts spilling out around here. So I'm gonna just talk about one topic that I have been very passionate about, which is post-show life, post-bikini competition, bodybuilding show. And I know there are like tons of girls on YouTube and the internet that do bikini shows and post stuff, and I think it's awesome because it helped me so much during my prep. Like, I wouldn't have made it through prep without them. Especially because I coached myself, which meant I needed a lot of information from other sources. But post-show thoughts. So let's see where to start. I would say the day of my show I was very confident that I did not ever want to do it again. Not for any negative reasons, it was just the feeling that I did all this work and it didn't feel like for a big deal. And it was like right after prejudging I was like, and it was in my show day video, but I was just kind of like, I don't feel like I need to do this again. Like, it's no big deal. Like, yeah, like, meh. But I was having like a really good day. I had a really fun show day, and so that was super great. I made a lot of friends on Instagram that I met at the show, and so that a lot of us first timers were like besties, and it was so much fun. And I didn't place. I got 8 out of 14 in my novice class and 9 out of 11 in open, so I didn't do that well. I also, because I was so confident that I did not want to do it again, I did not ask for judges' feedback, which is maybe one of my biggest regrets. Because once I finally saw the placings the next day, because I obviously knew I didn't place after prejudging because I was in the middle of my second call out both times, so I was pretty confident I didn't place. But when I saw the results, I was kind of like, man, I wish I would have known I could have done better. And I know a lot of it's pretty standard. For one, some of my tan was messed up, my hair was not perfect like a lot of people, and my makeup, and a lot of it is probably because I did DIY. Some of it was probably my body shape, like I could have had more shoulder going on, which is something I would change. There's a lot I would change if I ever did it again. That day I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. The next day, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was like, I'll probably do it again. And that was like the start of like, you can eat everything you want to again, which has its pros and cons because you're surrounded by other people. Like, I made a lot of friends at the show. One of my friends did the show with me, and everyone's trying to reverse diet all of a sudden, or they're just taking one free day and then they're gonna start the reverse diet, and it was just so much pressure because you finally have the freedom and you don't have anything to be afraid of anymore. And I think what kept me on my diet was the fear of failure at my show. And I don't know. So I struggled with binge eating problems before, so it was nothing new to me to experience that first couple weeks after show day where I didn't have that fear anymore, and so I was binging and just eating until I was super full and just not stopping, which I honestly think is okay to a point. I think it's the fact that you want to stop that stops you from stopping. And it wasn't like that whole first month was really difficult for me. Like, I thought I was grumpy with low carbs, and I felt like so different. Getting your carbs back is super great, but like trying to control your eating and failing a lot is not so great. And it took a solid first month for me to just accept to stop trying to control it and diet anymore, because I was done. I didn't need to diet anymore. And I would say one really positive thing about the show, before I forget it, was that it's crazy to see your body taken to such an extreme and to see it bounce back. And that was one of the coolest things for me, because when you're on prep, you're so focused on getting to show day and not failing and just doing really well, and you're so focused on it all, training and eating and all this stuff, and you get there and you're done and you don't realize that your body is so out of it. and I had actually gotten a promotion while, like, right at the beginning of prep, and my diet wasn't like super low or anything at that point. Like, it was still the beginning, and I took a very, very slow cut, and I still struggled to learn a job that, like, I've never struggled in my life to learn a new job. I've always excelled right off the bat. I struggled for a while with that one, and it was not super great. But it was crazy to see my body bounce back, see how much energy I had to do, like, the little things like organizing my desk at work. I was like, I couldn't do this for months because I was so preoccupied with getting to the show, and I wasn't eating enough, and I just didn't have the energy, and all of a sudden you do. And you are different on low carb. And yeah, so I think it was really cool to see your body come back. There were, like, emotions that I hadn't been feeling that I started to feel when I was done. And it was kind of weird. It was just like, whoa, I haven't felt this way in a while. And even if it was sadness, it was kind of exciting because you're like, oh, it's been a few months. Other post-show thoughts on a TMI personal level. I did happen to lose my period, and I am very aware that that is not good, and it has been a struggle to try and get back. That's all I got for you. 2 months done and still working on it. And like 15 pounds up, so I'm like, where are you? I'm about 15 pounds up from stage weight. And then, yeah, I think I've done a lot of bouncing around because I sometimes do focus on other people, and I've broken that over the past couple weeks, and it's definitely been really freeing to just be like, because I would get so frustrated with people who were trying to stay lean and like competition lean, or even just like right above that and trying to maintain their physiques, and I get frustrated because I'm like, we're not supposed to do that. Like, our bodies aren't supposed to stay that lean, and like, why? Like, it's not that big a deal to put the weight back on. And then I was just kind of like, you know what? People can do what they want to do. I'm going to do what I'm doing, which is just enjoying my life. And if someone wants to like judge me based on me putting my weight back, that's on them. I think I look a lot better now. I think I looked great on my show day, but I think I look a lot better with a little bit of fat on me. So that's just my opinion. Some days are harder than others. I've had days where like the body dysmorphia definitely gets to me. Well, it did. That first month it really did. Like, I would see pictures and think I was larger than I was, and I actually, like, the first few weeks after my show, I didn't wear anything tight, like, immediately. Like, even the second day, I looked great. Even though I had eaten so much the night before, and same the next day, like, I ate so much, and the next day I still looked great, but I was afraid to, like, wear tight clothing, because I thought I had ballooned up, because I had heard all these horror stories about people putting on 10, 20, 30 pounds in a day. And the first 5 do come back. Like, the water weight comes back. Like, the 5 is there. And I didn't weigh myself for the first few days, but it was there when I checked. So yeah. I don't know. I guess I see it more positively now that time has passed and I'm just kind of doing my thing. I still struggle with the eating and trying to not diet, but I'm also just really happy. I'm enjoying wine and pizza and not just plain foods, though it was fun to realize that you crave plain foods that you have been eating on prep after prep because your body's just used to it. So I'd be like, I want plain sweet potatoes, like I want plain chicken. And I'm like, I want the spice on my chicken. I still like plain sweet potatoes, so you know, no harm there. But yeah, so post-show feels, I guess everything is a lot easier once you take the pressure off of yourself, once you're not trying to stay lean. Because I'd say this past month I was much more focused on just going to work out, to enjoy my workouts, and to do what I wanted, eating whatever I want, and I was not focused on other people, and I feel like I'm so much happier, and I stopped getting like upset or worried about other people, and like, you can't protect everyone. Unfortunately, it's just the case. You can't protect everyone from not wanting to be as lean, and that's their business. And same with me. If I don't want to be that lean, that's my business. If I want to lean out and diet again, that's my business. And so, yeah. What I'm doing is what I'm doing. I want to be healthy and happy, and life is not easy on anyone. It has its own struggles. I've had my own struggles since like immediately, like the week after the show, stuff in my life kind of got a little weird, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever been happier. So that's amazing. I've been very focused on my photography, but I'm still getting in the gym. I've learned to love working out with other people. I'm not strict anymore. It's great. And I'll do another video of if I would ever do it again. But yeah, So I guess I just wanted to let the post-show feels out. It's had its ups and downs. There have been tears after the show. There's been struggle and frustration with, you know, debating if I was going to do it again or how I affected people that I loved when I was on prep. And yeah, there are memories I wish I hadn't missed out on. There's a lot of things I would have done differently. So yeah, but at the same time, I'm glad I did it. So that's for today. Love you guys.